Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Ever wondered about the hidden gears of the sustainable economy? Today we're looking at a surprisingly vital market. It's the global industry for recyclable glass bottle washing machines.
Sounds pretty niche, right?
Exactly. But it tells, well, a fascinating story about how things are really shifting towards a more, circular future. Our source for this is a really detailed report from Cognitive Market Research.
Hmm.
It's packed with revenue numbers, growth rates, traces the market from 2021 right through to 2033.
It's quite comprehensive.
It is. And our mission today is basically to pull out the key insights for you, help you get up to speed on this crucial bit of infrastructure, and connect these numbers to that bigger sustainability picture. Okay, let's dig into this. What's the overall health? Where's this market heading globally?
Well, it's actually quite remarkable when you look at the scale. Globally, we're talking sales revenue of just over $92 million back in 2021.
Okay. A decent start. But the projection, it's expected to nearly triple. We're looking at about $264 million by 2033.
Wow, triple.
Yeah. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CGR of over 9%. So pretty robust growth over more than a decade.
And what's behind that?
It really reflects a wider trend. More adoption of sustainable packaging solutions, definitely. And importantly, a bigger focus on what are called closed-loop glass recycling systems.
Right, closed loop. That term comes up a lot. Can you maybe quickly break that down for us?
Sure, yeah. Think of it like this. Instead of just, crushing bottles down to melt them again, which uses a lot of energy, closed loop means the bottles are collected, they're washed really thoroughly, and then refilled.
Ah, okay. Reuse directly.
Exactly. Often by the same company or, within the same local system. It's all about keeping that bottle in use for as long as possible, minimizes waste, and it cuts down hugely on the energy and resources needed compared to making new glass or even traditional recycling.
So these washing machines they're fundamental to that reuse model.
They're the linchpin. Absolutely essential.
Got it. So a big global investment in making glass reusable. Now, this is where I think it's really interesting. How do the different regions stack up? Where's the growth happening? Let's maybe start with North America.
Okay, North America. It's a strong market. Revenues there are set to grow from around $20 million in 2021 to over $58 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of roughly 9.2%.
Pretty consistent with the global rate then.
Very much so. Now, the U.S. is the biggest piece of that pie, obviously, over half the revenue.
Mm-hmm.
But the real, standout story in North America, it's Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah. The report shows Mexico's market growing incredibly fast. It leads the region with a CAGR close to 10.8%.
Wow, nearly 11%. That is a standout. Does the report give any clues why Mexico's growth is so, well, explosive compared to the U.S. and Canada?
It does hint at a couple of things. First, there seems to be a growing domestic beverage industry there. Think craft beers, local spirits. They're increasingly opting for reusable glass.
Makes sense.
And second, you've got a push from consumers, but also some emerging government initiatives pushing for more sustainable packaging. So for local businesses wanting to build those circular systems, these washing machines become a really crucial investment.
Okay, that context helps a lot. Very interesting. Let's shift gears then. What about Europe, often seen as being ahead on environmental policy? Does the data back that up here?
Europe definitely shows a major commitment. Similar starting point, around $20 million in 2021 revenue. But that's also projected to roughly triple, hitting over $60 million by 2033.
And the growth rate?
Strong. Actually slightly higher than North America, on average, about 9.5% CAGR.
Yeah.
And you see countries like the UK, Germany, France, they're expanding fast. Their CAGRs are well over 9.7%.
So what's driving it there? Is it just policy?
Policy is a huge factor, no doubt. I mean, many European countries have had glass deposit return schemes for ages, right?
Right, that's true.
So there's already infrastructure and public awareness. Plus, there's increasing pressure to meet pretty ambitious EU recycling and reuse targets. So for the bottlers, the distributors, investing in these advanced washing machines isn't just nice to have, it's becoming, well, a practical necessity.
So those established frameworks really push the demand. Makes sense. Okay, let's head east. Asia Pacific, what's the picture there? Any unique drivers?
Asia Pacific is another really significant growth area. The market there is expected to jump from about 18.8 million in 2021 to over 55 million by 2033.
Okay.
That's at CAGR around 9.3%.
So pretty much in line with the global average again.
Pretty much China, Japan, India, They're the big players in terms of total revenues,
Yep.
just given their size.
Naturally.
But interestingly, just like we saw with Mexico, South Korea and also Southeast Asia are showing some of the fastest percentage growth. South Korea's KGR is actually over 10%. Southeast Asia is nearly 10% too.
So another case of dynamic economies catching up fast.
Seems like it. It suggests rapid investment in this kind of sustainability infrastructure, probably driven by, a growing middle class, rising environmental awareness, maybe some government pushes too.
Fascinating. It really hammers home that this isn't just a Western trend. It's properly global. Okay, let's round out the world tour. South America, Middle East, and Africa. How do they fit in?
They're definitely part of the story, showing notable growth too, though maybe with slightly different local factors at play. Take South America. The market there is projected to grow from around 8.8 million in 2021 to over 24 million by 2033.
Okay.
That's about an 8.8% CAGR. Brazil leads the charge there, which makes sense given its economic size and growing focus on local sustainability.
Right, and the Middle East?
Also expanding. Revenue expected to go from nearly 4.8 million up to over 13 million by 2033, also around an 8.8% CAGR.
Similar growth rate.
Yeah. And countries like Saudi Arabia are showing strong growth within that, perhaps tied to, economic diversification plans and putting more emphasis on environmental aspects.
Interesting. And Africa?
Africa presents a really compelling picture, I think. You see emerging markets really embracing these sustainable solutions, starting from about 19.2 million in 2021. Quite a significant base, actually.
Higher than some other regions to start.
Exactly. And it's projected to hit over 51 million by 2033. The CAGR is around 8.7%.
Solid growth.
Very solid. Nigeria and South Africa are the key markets. It suggests significant industrial activity and maybe a practical approach to resource efficiency in these developing economies.
Okay, so we've seen the numbers, region by region. They all point upwards pretty consistently. So stepping back,
Yeah.
what does it all mean? Why this universal push for these specific machines? What are the big drivers globally?
Yeah, when you connect all those dots, the report really highlights a few key things driving this everywhere. First, it's just plain increasing environmental awareness. Consumers, companies, people are just more tuned into waste and their footprint.
That feels undeniable.
Second, you've got government stepping in more, regulations are popping up all over supporting glass recycling, and, crucially, reuse. That creates real market pull for the equipment.
Right, the policy lever.
And third, something very visible.
Yeah.
The hospitality sector, restaurants, hotels, cafes. They're making a big, noticeable shift towards reusable packaging, especially glass bottles.
You do see that a lot more now.
Definitely. And all these things together, they directly fuel demand for the machines that actually make widespread glass reuse possible. It's all feeding into building that circular economy on a practical industrial scale. It's becoming, essential kit.
What an incredible deep dive. It really shows how this seemingly niche industry sits right at the heart of this massive global shift. So the key takeaway seems clear. The market for these glass bottle washers is growing strongly everywhere. It's driven by this worldwide move to be more sustainable, to build a circular economy.
Exactly. It's a fundamental piece of the puzzle. And maybe connecting this to the bigger picture, it raises an important question for you, the listener. As industries keep prioritizing sustainability, where else might we see this kind of, unexpected but vital growth? What other hidden gears of the circular economy are out there waiting to be discovered?
That's a great thought to leave everyone with. Something to mull over. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We really encourage you to keep exploring these connections and how industries are changing. Until next time.